Hi everybody, I'm Ed Skorsky, and together with myself and my daughter Janine, we have Bring Back the Memory, which is our business where we sell and buy collectibles. Now today, one of the collectibles that we sell and the one we're going to talk about is stock certificates, stock and bond certificates. And what I'd like to start with is why would anyone want to collect bond and stock certificates? Okay, and just to show you, this is an example of a stock certificate. Okay, a stock certificate means that you have a certificate that shows that you own a number of shares of a company. Okay, and this is a bond certificate. A bond certificate is different. You don't own anything in a company, but you've basically lent money to the company. And in return for your money, they are giving you back your money plus interest. So that's the difference between a stock and a bond certificate, okay? Now, why would you collect these? Okay. Now, to me, the first thing I would say is that anybody should collect strictly for enjoyment, okay? So if you enjoy collecting anything, I think this is a great thing to collect, okay? And this is the biggest reason why I collect is for enjoyment, okay? And as far as enjoying, I enjoy everything about it. I enjoy the certificates themselves. I enjoy the history behind it. To me, it's really fun to go out and find them, okay? So that's the first reason, just the enjoyment of collecting. Now, the second thing too is you've got to remember that these certificates, they're collectibles, okay? As they're not really worth anything as far as being able to trade. At one time, if this certificate were written to you, you could then trade it in and get your money from it. But now they've been canceled, they've already been traded in. Many of these companies have gone out of business and they don't exist anymore. So their value is strictly as a collectible. So it's really important to understand that, okay? So the first reason, again, is for enjoyment. Now the second reason, I think, is educational. I think learning is really great, and I'm a retired school teacher. I taught for 30 years in public schools, and I'm going to be, my next birthday is I'm going to be 81 years old, and I feel that you should always want to learn new things. I mean, I never want to stop learning. So, and this is a great way to learn because when I collect these certificates, I like to find out different things about the company. I think that every certificate tells a story, okay? Now, this certificate could have been written out to a certain person. It could have been father and mother who want to save up to send their child to college, okay? So maybe they would buy, this certificate is the Pittsburgh, Youngstown, and Ashtabula Railroad. So maybe, and it is for 25 shares. So somebody may have bought this with the idea that they're going to trade it in later on. Hopefully it'll go up in value, and it's going to help send their kid to college. Okay, so the second reason, again, like I said, is educational, and being able to learn about the different certificates and the history behind the certificates is really, really good, and we'll talk about a little bit more about that later on. The third reason to collect it is for the artwork. Most of these certificates, they contain vignettes. Now, this is a vignette of this bond certificate, and as you can see, it's a picture of a steam locomotive train, and the nice thing about this isn't a print, all right? This is actually inscribed in the certificate itself. It's just like currency, okay? It's engraved in the certificates. It's an engraving because this is a bearer bond, which means that the owner of the bond, it's a $1,000 bond. At the time, you could trade it in for $1,000. So certainly they wouldn't want something that could be counterfeited. And the way they got around that is by metallically engraving it, and that's just like, with a $100 bill or a $50 bill. Yeah, people try to counterfeit them, but they do things to counterbalance that by making them so that they can be counterfeits can be detected. Okay, and then finally, the last reason for collecting these, I think, is as an investment. Now, again, we said that you can't trade these in for money, but because of the fact that many of these are old, like some of the certificates I have are over 150 years old, and they're very, very obsolete. What happens is when you would trade in your certificate for money, most of the times the company would then destroy them. So many stock certificates of different companies, they're just completely gone. They're obsolete, they don't exist anymore. And so some are very, very rare. And because of that, if they're in demand, their value goes up and they can be worth quite a bit of money. So I'm not saying that if you bought these, you buy them with the idea of getting rich, but there is the distinct possibility that some of them will go up in value and you can actually make money by buying and selling stock certificates. Okay, so that's basically the reason why you would collect certificates. And in our next video, I'm going to show you some of the certificates and what to look for when you decide to collect stock certificates. Okay, thanks for watching.